Greetings, I'm Barrett and welcome to Meet Me at the Table. Today I'm going to do a quick unboxing of Streets, an urban tile laying game for 1 to 5 players. This is by Sinister Fish. You may recognize the box from another game that they'd done earlier called Villagers, which at the time of when it came out, it actually was my hidden gem of the year. I really enjoyed Villagers, so my wife and I have decided to go ahead and back Streets, and it just arrived for us right now. This is a competitive game, so I'm probably not going to be showing the multiplayer on it, but it does have a solo variant that I will try to show off on my channel. I'm a huge fan of Villagers. I'm excited to try out Streets and see how it goes. Now, Streets is a tile laying game where players build a city together, one building at a time. But since it's competitive, you're going to be scoring based on what people are on your street and what other parts of the card say. Well, let's open it up and see what's inside, and we'll take a look at Streets by Sinister Fish Games. Similar to Villagers, this is a Kickstarter copy, so some of the components may be different than something you'd get for retail, and a lot of it has to do with like upgraded components of that nature. There is a Kickstarter promo pack insert here that shows me probably some of the differences that have to do with the game, and there's also our rulebook. It is the exact same type of rulebook that I got with Villagers, a nice little one that fits right in the box and is easily accessed. And on the back, it shows the credits, and I believe it even has like a little glossary of all the different things that you're going to be doing in this game. So let's set this aside and take a look at the rest. We'll remove these. These are going to be the meeples that are going to be put out onto your street, and these are the Kickstarter exclusive ones. They're more detailed. As you can tell, they actually have some coloring onto them, as opposed to the one you'd get from retail, which would be just straight green or yellow. These are really cool. They have some neat little art on them, and it looks like there's multiple different kinds of them too, which is kind of cool. I don't know exactly what the differences are between these, but we shall see as we go through. The other box is going to be our ownership tokens. Oh my gosh. It's going to be, well, there we go, and nicely comes out. So these are all of our ownership tokens. So as you expand your streets, you're going to be laying down your buildings, and you're going to be putting ownership tokens on them to show that that is yours. And when it comes to scoring, you're going to score the ones that you own, and I'll show you how those work in a second when I get to the actual cards. Also in here are the 48 different business tokens that are going to be part of the game as well. So it's really neat that these are all nice little wooden components, just like in the original Villagers game. They were all wooden components, really cool looking. We're going to set these aside as well and continue on. Next we have a bag. We'll see what's in the bag. Oh, this is going to be all the money, and of course the thing that helps us from keeping the game nice. We have all the different monetary components here. We have 1, 10s, probably some bigger ones, 100s. Oh, I want to get 100. That'd be really good. These are also made of wood. Again, they could be different in the retail version, and they come in this neat little bag. And one thing I really enjoy about this game is it always fits right inside this. Even all the expansions and everything fits all right in this little box, and it can be stored really easily on your shelf. These are, I think that's all that's going to be in here is just the monetary points here. Yes, these are all different denominations of money that you're going to gain as you block off streets. We'll put those aside and continue on. Now here's the meat of the game. It's all these cool looking city tiles. Let's remove them. Okay, they're all put together like that. And we even have some promo pack and 5-player cards. Now the game can be played with 5 players, and if that's the case, you're going to add in all the cards. But if you play with less than 5, you're going to remove all the cards that actually have a 5 on them, and I'll show you those in a second. And if you play with even 1 or 2 less than that, so you play with 3 or 2 players, you're going to remove other tiles as well, just to balance the game and make it so it doesn't last forever. We have some more tiles down here, lots of tiles, because after all, that's the name of the game, is playing tiles. So let's take a look at a few of these tiles. Here's our first set of tiles, and notice right down here, as I was talking about earlier, there's the 5+. You remove these, you play with 4 or less people. And here's what these all look like. They're really cool. They got great art, and on this is a lot of different things. First off, we of course have our street, and you're going to be building these out like this. Of course, you're eventually going to block off the street, and once that street is blocked off, you're going to gain points based on what is on that street than the ones that you own. So for example, say this one is out on your street, and you decide to score it. Here's how it works. Your first first going to play the card, and you'll put meeples down based on the amount of symbols down here, and you're going to gain money when this is blocked off. Like, for example, it says $2 for each tourist symbol on the street. So if we had this one and this one, since it's a wild, on the same street, we would get 2 for this, 2 for this, and you're going to, and the more money you get, the more chance you have of winning the game, of course. There are a few of these 5 people ones. Then after that, we have all these other ones, which are really cool. And each one of these determines different types of meeples that you're going to be placing down on here, and are going to affect the scoring based on the type of building it is, or also what it actually is going to be next to. There's so many different ways to score on this that it's a really neat type of game. Now on the back, the cool thing is it shows you what type of buildings they are. These are wilds. These are green. These, as it's green, it has to be green. And the opponent will see what the back of your tiles are, but they'll never see the front of the tile that you're looking at. When you go to play the tile, then they'll finally see what it is, and they might see how you're planning to go. And you might want to try to thwart that person and maybe block off that street so they don't get a lot more points than they're already amassing as they build out the street. But of course, you can build on the street too and potentially make a lot of points that way as well. So here's just a little bit of the cards. Here's a few more cards. This is the central station. This is your first starting point, and it's going to be right next to the city park. This is really how you start the game, is just like that. If you're looking for a great way to learn how to play this game, there's a rules video done by Paul Grogan's channel over at Gaming Rules. He does a fantastic job of explaining all the rules to this game, and his channel is amazing. If you don't know that channel, please go check it out. I'm going to put a link to it in the description below, just so you can see not only the rules for this, but anything else he does. He's a fantastic content creator. I really think you should go check him out if you haven't already. Here are just some more of the tiles. I want to show you how these all work. There's so many different ways that these can be scored. This one's pretty cool. It's a concept store. Look at this, for shoes. We have shopping areas, and as you can see, all these different symbols and all the iconography on these cards are quite different, and so you'll never have exactly the same game twice. It's really a neat concept. I'm excited to get this to the table and try it out. Now, of course, there is a solo variant, and I think the rules set are going to be found in these things right here, so let's take a look. But before we do, here's right down here is the promo pack. These, I believe, are going to be because of the Kickstarter. So we got like junk art statue. We got the old tavern. We got squatter commune. We've got expert vinyl shop. These are pretty cool looking cards. Grooming salon. Fast cars. Well, it's never not any car from none of my cars come from there. Candy shop, and also the ball playground. And these, I believe, is why we have this. We can just go ahead and put these, as you can tell, it's a little bit higher, so it's a divider. Not to mention we have the 5-player divider as well, as we put it back in there. And I'll show you as we might actually be able to rebox this. Let's take a look at these consultant expansions. These are going to add a layer to the game on top of playing down all your cards. You're going to gain bonuses, or you're going to gain advantages in doing certain things in the game that is based on your consultant that you have chosen. There are a ton of different consultants that are going to be able to affect your game. So this is another part of the game that adds more. It's really cool. They actually have the main game and 2 different expansions that can create a really interesting feel for the game. You have that consultant expansion, and then those other tokens I showed you, these right here, these can be another expansion that can be used. And as you place down your cards, if you noticed, some of them actually have symbols up in the upper corner. You're going to place these down as well, and then when you go to score, you're going to be choosing a certain type of business, and you're going to, if you have the most of those, you're going to gain even more money at the end when it comes to scoring. The end of the game happens, of course, when all the tiles are laid down onto the board, which is why in a 2-player game you're going to be removing more tiles than if you're playing a 5-player game where you're going to be using all the tiles. At this point, that's about all I have. There are a couple other things. Oh, there is these. This is awesome. Just like in Villagers, they have a great turn sequence card that tells you exactly how to play through each of the turns. And it even explains how the scoring works on these. So you can feel free to have this by you at all times. Every person's going to have one. And then, of course, we have the solo mode and how it's set up and how it's played. This will be what you're going to see on my channel. I'm hoping to get this to the channel pretty quickly. I'm excited for this game. If it's anything like Villagers when it comes to the strategy and planning, I'm really excited for this one because that's a fantastic game. My wife and I, like I've said, have played it multiple times, and I've played the solo mode a few times as well, and I've even had it on the channel, so please feel free to check it out if you haven't already. So I think that's going to be everything that you're going to find in the box of Streets by Sinister Fish Games. Now, of course, this, like I said, is my Kickstarter copy that I backed, and that's why all of these are a little bit different than if you were to get the retail version. These meeples are absolutely astounding. I love having nice little pictures on them. That's cool. And not to mention all the different wood material as opposed to cardboard. I'm excited to get this to the channel. I'm excited to show you how this works. Thank you so much for watching this unboxing of Streets. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell symbol. Also, please feel free to leave anything in the description below. I will make sure to put in the description of this video that link to Gaming Rules by Paul Grogan, so that if you're interested in how this plays, you can check it out there. I'll be coming back with a solo mode to play this game and show you how it works. I'm really excited for this game. I hope you are too. Thank you again for watching. And if you're excited to see if I can make the greatest street ever, then I need you to meet me at the table. Let's rebox this up super fast mode.